Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Akil. Welcome back to another anime review, guys, for the channel. Today we are talking about One Piece season 16, guys. Yes, I finally finished another season of One Piece, and I'm saying finally because I should have finished watching Punk Hazard a while ago, and that's what season 16 is basically. It's Punk Hazard, also like I think the arc's called Caesar's Retrieval arc. It's like another filler arc, 3 episodes just thrown in there for God knows whatever reason. But basically, it's Punk has it, I would say. And there's one crossover episode just thrown in there too. But I'm saying that I should have watched this before because I was taking my own sweet time watching Stargate SG-1 Season 8 and Stargate Atlantis Season 1. Also Stargate SG-1 Season 7 as well. So I took my own sweet time and I only recently started watching it, and after 10 days I'm finally finished watching Punk Hazard. I'm saying finally because now after this I can move on to Dressrosa basically, and that's gonna take me some time. But I'll explain all that at the end of the review. So to start with, what did I think of Punk Hazard AK Season 16? Well, honestly, it's another good season. It's another good arc. I didn't love this arc. I do prefer Marineford and maybe Impel Down and Amazon Lily, just because maybe it's paced a little bit better. But honestly, Punk Hazard was better in terms of like, I don't know, like characters and stuff. I enjoyed it more than Fishman Island and more than Thriller Bark. That's what I'll say about that. So, getting on the story of this arc, basically, Luffy and his gang arrive at Punk Hazard, this island, and Caesar Clown, who is by far one of the most despicable villains I've ever seen. Like, literally, this guy deserves to be in prison, man. Like, what he's done here is absolutely insane. Like, he's on the level of Hitler, level of mass murderer, genocidal, maniac type of stuff. It's insane what Caesar does. And I feel like Achira Oda comes up with these crazy villains that you personally have heard of in history. And I feel like this guy is one of them. He reminds me of Hitler in terms of like, instead of gas chambers, he's got the gas and he's trying to do stuff with it. It's insane. And his alliance, I won't spoil who he's working for, kind of, I would say, is very interesting. So there's that. But basically, it's Luffy, the Straw Hats, and some other characters as well, going up against none other than Caesar Clown. And it's one of those stories where it takes place in one island, and it's not a crazy adventure and anything like that. I mean, it is, but I feel like the best way I can sum this up is it takes the elements we've seen of One Piece before, but also makes it a lot more dark and intense. So it's like Drum Island, Fishman Island, all those arcs basically. They all have something dark to them, but this felt very dark and intense. This felt like the darkest adventure arc of One Piece, if that kind of makes sense, where majority of the seasons and places and arcs deal with them going on an island, having some kind of crazy adventure. But sometimes there's this rare case like Marineford or Impel Down, or maybe even Saba or the Archipelago, where things just take a different turn. This is probably the darkest adventure island, I would say, the adventure arc, I would say, that the Straw Hats are dealing with. So there's that. Now, in terms of the positives, the action was crazy. I mean, there were some crazy fights as well. I love the characters. And I know people have seen this arc, but I will say this because I'm showing the images right now. So I should say that Smoker and Trafalgar Law are in this arc. And that's all I'll say about that. And I was so happy to actually see Smoker back. Smokey. It's funny, even his men call him Smokey. I call him Smokey too. Because like, oh, Smokey's back. Alright, yeah. But it's great to see him back because he's one of my favorite supporting background characters, I would say. I don't know what it is. He has a very cool personality and the way he speaks as well. Dude just smokes a cigarette and that's it. Trafalgar Law, a lot of people love that character and I could understand why. And he was great this arc too. It's also great, speaking of Smoker, that he had a very big role this time around. It kind of reminded me of like early One Piece, like Alabasta, in like Log Town, when Smoker had a very big role. I mean, it was cool seeing him in Marineford, but then in Fishman Island he wasn't there, and then he showed up here. It was like, oh, Smoker's back, nice. So it was cool to see Luffy, Smoker, and Law actually kind of team up a little bit, I would say. And finally, for positives, I also really liked the tone of this arc. I didn't mind it going dark, but there were some moments I was not expecting it to go in a certain direction. And he had that tiny sci-fi feel because Caesar Khan's actually a scientist, so man, dude, Achiro Oda has done everything. I mean, there's a dragon that shows up in this arc at one point. I mean, dude's done mermaids, dragons. He's done everything at this point. It's insane. And I heard Whole Cake Island's like on a whole nother level too in terms of craziness. So there's that. Now, negatives, the pacing at times did kind of feel all over the place. Some parts were a tad bit slower, some parts felt a bit too rushed. Another thing I didn't like was, as I said before, the filler arc at the end thrown in that. It's not the show's fault, it's more of the season's fault. I don't know why they just wanted to include that. It could have been like maybe part of the next arc, but regardless, it makes sense to fit here instead of the next arc because honestly, it's like an epilogue basically, but it was so unnecessary. Why they added 3 episodes, I have no idea. It was just pointless. It really reminded me actually of the Daphne arc in Fairy Tail. And if you see it, you know what I'm talking about. All you Fairy Tail guys out there. And finally, another negative is that while I did enjoy the characters, I was not crazy about the villains. For me, One Piece, sometimes the villains really work for me. Season Clown I hated. Monet was fine. Virgo was fine. But yeah, I mean, the villains have not been top tier in my opinion. I mean, Smoker's kind of a villain, but this season he kind of felt like somewhat of a good guy, I would say. So there's that. But overall, guys, One Piece Season 16, aka Punk Hazard, was fine. It was enjoyable. It was good. Like I said, I do prefer over Fishman Island and Thriller Bark. Maybe even Subody Archipelago. But not as much as Amazon Lily and Impel Down and of course Marineford. But I'm still not in love with Marineford the more I think about it. Like, I already said what I had to in that review. You can go check it out. The one that came out last year for that. But guys, I cannot wait to get through Dressrosa. And now, before I talk about it, I have to give my score. So as a final score for One Piece Season 16, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe a 7.5 is fair because there were some pretty peak moments and fights. But I would say that it's just a fun ride. It feels like a fun adventure, but like I said, it's the darkest adventure / island season or arc that we're dealing with, I would say. So there's that. Now, like I said, I do want to talk about Dressrosa very quickly. I will be watching again 5 episodes a day. That's how I did it for this. Because there are 50 episodes in the season to be exact. 5 times. And it took 10 days, 5 times 10, 50. Dressrosa, okay, season 17 has 117 or 118. Yeah, 118 episodes. So the math doesn't work. So I have to round it up because it's +3. If I watch another 2 episodes, 7 a day, that's fine. But an extra 3 or more, 3, 4, 5 more, then it'll go into the next day. So I'll round it up to 24 days instead of 23 days. So 24 days for Dressrosa. Honestly, that's not bad. That's like double the length of how long I took to watch Punk Hazard. Plus another 3 days. So there's that. So, plus another 4 days. So it's definitely possible I can get it done before the end of June. We'll see what happens. And then after that, end of June to July, Zao. And then after that, I'll be going back to X-Files. And then a new anime will start. But I will not announce it just yet. We still got heaps of time. But guys, I enjoyed Punk Hazard. I didn't love it. Sorry for the rambling. You guys are probably used to it by now. And also, it's great to be back to the world of One Piece. I love this world so much. And Ichiro Oda just is a genius man for this. So I can't wait for Dressrosa, and I can't wait to see Doflamingo and Luffy. I go at it. I know it's coming and it's gonna be peak, I'm sure. But guys, thank you so much for watching my review of season 16 of One Piece. What do you guys think of Punk Hazard? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Tell me all your thoughts down in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Akil, otherwise known as the Comic Director, and I'm signing out.